What's up guys, welcome back to the channel in another video. It's been a while since I've uploaded, but this year I really want to push myself back into the video side of things and creating content on YouTube. One of the most asked questions I get online is about what gear I'm using, so I figured I'll go ahead and answer that question all here in one place and kind of just cover everything that I use in 2024. Alright, so starting off, we're going to go ahead and go with the camera I'm recording on right now. That is going to be the Sony a7 Mark III with the Sigma 24-70 2.8 lens. This is a camera I've been using to shoot all my photo and video work on for over the last 5.5 years. I know Sony's came out with cameras that have better specs, newer models and all that, but this camera still works for me and that's all that matters, so I'm going to keep using it until I feel like it's holding me back as a creator. As I dive deeper into video this year and next year, I think I will eventually want to get a dedicated video camera itself, but for now the a7 Mark III still works for me. Alright, next up here we have my prized possession. This is the Olympus Super Zoom 760. If you follow me on social media, which I'm assuming pretty much all of you do, this is the camera I use to shoot all my film photos on. This is actually the second model I've owned of this. The first one I got from my mom, which she had in her closet, eventually stopped working, so I ended up buying this one right here off of eBay for $40, and it's safe to say that is the best $40 I've ever spent. This camera has a built-in flash right here, which I love using on landscapes during blue hour, and it also has a 38-76 zoom lens on it with autofocus built in. Overall, I think this camera is probably going to be the best point shoot you can find for $40. If you can find one that's better than that, let me know and I will happily buy it and try it out and do a video on it myself. Next up, we're going to have the only other lens that I currently own. This is going to be the Sigma 35mm f1.4 lens. When I'm out shooting landscapes, I primarily use the 24-70, which I have on the camera right now, but when I'm doing client or portrait work, I typically almost always throw on the 35mm. Honestly, I have no complaints about this lens right here. Every time I use it, I wonder why I don't use it more. Every single photo comes out sharp as a tack and the quality is always great. If you're looking to get a prime lens, I highly recommend getting a Sigma. I've owned two, and the 35mm is by far my favorite. Alright, next up we have the Minolta SRT 200 35mm film camera. I recently got this camera at an antique shop for $20 and I've shot one roll through it so far and I'm pretty happy with the results. If I'm ever out shooting film and I want a more hands-on experience, I'll throw a roll on this thing right here. That way I can change all the settings myself instead of using the point and shoot. That way I can just tweak the settings exactly how I want. I'm planning on sending some more rolls to this thing this summer, so I'm stoked to try that. I have owned a Minolta before, so I do have a couple other lenses for it, and I might make a separate video just on this camera later on this year. Next up, we're going to have all my hard drives right here. This is pretty self-explanatory, but I keep all my old photos and videos stored on here. If you don't have a hard drive, I highly recommend investing in one. They're usually between $100 to $200 depending on which one you get, but it'll save you the headache from having to store everything on your computer. Next up, we're going to have this Insignia card reader here. This one is also pretty self-explanatory, but when I get home from a shoot, I'll throw in my SD card reader in here, get on my laptop and start editing. Pretty sure I got this one off of Amazon for like 20 bucks, so you don't have to spend a ton of money on these. Obviously, the more you spend, the nicer they will be, but this one has worked for me for probably about the last 3 years. I've had no issues with it so far. Next up, we're gonna have the Godox V860 Mark III flash. I got this at the end of 2022, and I don't use it too often, but whenever I do, it always comes in clutch. As someone who didn't have any experience using an external flash on my camera, I found this one pretty easy and straightforward to use, so that was definitely super helpful. I believe when I got it, it retailed for about $220. I'm not sure what they go for now or if there's any newer models, but I definitely recommend this one if you have a flash that you're not gonna have to use super often. All right, and coming up next, we're gonna have the Rode shotgun mic. If I'm gonna be doing like a vlog style type of video or that kind of thing, I'll just throw this on top of my camera for better and more clear audio. I believe you can find this one on Amazon for under $100. So if you're someone like me who doesn't shoot a ton of video but wants a little more clear audio, I'd highly recommend grabbing this and getting yourself one. All right, and last but not least, we're gonna have my 2018 MacBook Pro. Some of you guys might hear 2018 and wonder, Alex, why haven't you got a new one yet? And honestly, this thing still gets the job done, believe it or not, and I don't really feel like spending $2,000 on a new MacBook right now. With that being said, I do want to invest in a PC setup here and sometime in the near future. That way I can just have, a good, fast, home-based computer to edit on, and then I'll just take this thing on the road with me when I'm out and about and need to edit on the run. So if you guys got any PC recommendations that won't absolutely break the bank, leave them down in the comments, because I am kind of looking around now, just kind of gauging what I want and like how much I want to spend on them. So with that being said, that is the gear that I'm using here in 2024. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like the video, ring the bell, subscribe, all that, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.